All right, we're live. A few minutes early, but I've also got to wrap this up pretty quickly today. We're traveling tomorrow, and it's just kind of dawning on me in the last hour or so that there's probably a few more things I need to do before I'm in a hotel room for the next 5 days. So I'm gonna get this, started in a minute. And if you're watching the VOD, which if you're hearing this, you probably are, apologies for not getting the last VOD up in a timely manner. I just realized today, I was like, oh shit, I didn't download the VOD and get it uploaded from last Thursday. I'm still doing it manually. I use Twitch Leecher to pull them down and then throw them in a folder for posterity's sake, and then I upload them manually to YouTube. So kind of a clunky process, but that's how I do it for the time being. Hey, Possum. So if you're watching this on YouTube, then hopefully you just saw the previous one. You know what? Since I'm going to be gone the rest of the week, I'll stretch them out. I'll see about getting this one ripped and uploaded to YouTube as soon as possible. I gotta do it before I leave tomorrow. All right, so I'll do that. Then I'll have them both up on YouTube, and then hopefully I'll be able to get everything set up maybe in the morning so that then they pop up the rest of the week. All right. Hey, Castanza, Gunnervolv, what's up, Bill? Orcish, what's going on? I'm glad you're excited about this weekend. Yeah, it's not the best timing for me to be out of town, but I will be watching people stream, hopefully, if the hotel's got decent Wi-Fi. I'll be watching some streams of the playtest, and I'll be keeping up with the team via Slack. And I'll watch the petition queue, let the team know if anything crazy is going on, stuff like that. So, but I'll be in a hotel in Munich basically from tomorrow through Sunday, so I'm missing it. Hey, what's up, Liz Biscuits? Hey, Maniac, what's going on? Hey, Quixana, Florian. Yeah, so everybody, this will be a shorter stream because I need to wrap up in a kind of a timely manner here, and then actually, I haven't used my laptop much in a while. I need to log into that, make sure I've got everything available on it so that I'll be able to access it once I get to the hotel. Hey, Queen of Dragons. God. What's up, Swanee? Yeah, Swanee, you'll beat me. I won't be able to log in. My laptop is extremely low powered, so it is not an M&M machine. If you think my desktop is shitty, wait until you see the laptop. I bought my laptop and my phone from my last company when I left for €300. They were old when I got them, I think. I think it was like a used laptop and a used phone when I got there in 2017. Install Parsec on your desktop so you can play remotely. Oh, interesting. What are the odds that I get that shit set up before I have to leave tomorrow morning? True Nomad Man. Thank you for the follow. Hey, Othrin. What's out? What's out? What's up, worn out? See if this energy drink actually does anything for me. Yeah, so there, those of you that haven't been over in this area, This is over here on the coast in Keepers Bight. There are some bandits here. Most of you probably be a little too low level for them during the playtest. What's up, Eric? Hey, Encrypt. Encrypt, you're not set to be a moderator. Let me fix that. What's up, Broken Stoic? What's up, Dragon? The Last Man? Man, a whole bunch of you in here. I'm gonna feel a little guilty if I don't do a full stream with all you cool cats coming in here, but I definitely need a time this evening. There is something wacky going on in this zone right now. Watch, look at this. This is kind of interesting. All right, you see how these guys are standing here doing nothing? Hey, Zidar. I switched to scene view. See, look at that. You see that? There's props. You see this? There's no props rendering, but they're here. I think I can collide with them. No? Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, there's a stump probably. See me go over the fire, and at night you can see the fire, so I don't know. Maybe occlusion, culling, whatever needs to be baked or some shit. Hey, tell it. What's going on? Taking a personal day on Friday, my boss just shook his head at me. That's funny. Hey, Dagarani. Rigaru. Ishuatari, V Gates. Yeah, so, anyways, hopefully we figure out what's going on there. I don't know what that's about. See, like I think that, let me see where I'm at. What am I running into that I can't see? Oh, I'm in a tent. So, will you be posting leaderboards for highest level and other cool achievements during playtest this weekend? Yeah, we should be. Swanee has made us so many cool little tools that it should be easier than ever to do that sort of thing. DeHorsey, thank you for the follow. The hope is, and Swanee, I forget, I apologize, I forget where we left off on the various events that we can track now. For this playtest, I'm not quite sure where we're at, but for future playtests, the hope is to track all of the steps in the funnel. And so, I don't know. Are you guys are you familiar with the whole like user funnel, player funnel concept? Here, I'll do a really shitty job of explaining it with MS Paint if you are interested. Swanee said there's still some actions we need to log. Not sure if the final build has been created for the weekends or if I can still add some stuff. Oh, cool. So essentially what Swanee's been doing for us is getting our player funnel tracking going, right? And that's essentially like if we were to subdivide if we were to basically each one of these gray lines would be an event. And so what we can track is eventually what we'll track is you know, did you land on the website, right? So you know, did you go to our registration page? Did you register? Oops. Did you download the installer? Did you get the installer? Well, did you install? Right? And patch? Did you... I'm trying to think all of them offhand. We've got a nice big list. Once you hit, you know, patch, did you hit play? Once you hit play, did you land in the game? Once you're in the game, you know, did you do any of the following, since it's not linear from that point, did you do any of the following events? So it'd be like, did you die? Did you recover your corpse if you died? Did you use a merchant? Did you complete the newbie quest? Honestly, any quest, but I think the way that we handle quests, I think it's probably just going to be easier to do newbie quests. I don't know. We'll have to talk about that, Steve. Sorry, Swanee. Did you, I mean, did you move? I guess would be one. Yeah, sorry if I wanted to, I was like, did I just dox him? Did I dox him? Did you die though? Yeah, did you die is up here, I think. Is one of the first ones I mentioned. Yeah, we could put in there, did you zone? Did you group? Did you use chat? Right? You hit up some OOC. And, I mean, we could have swim. I don't know what we would find. But what we're looking for is essentially, we're looking for areas of higher churn. The reason why it's funnel shaped is because the reality of it is that if we start here, the funnel is widest where it's 100%, right? So that's our 100% mark. And then as we step our way through the funnel, it's going to be fewer and fewer people because we're going to lose people along the way for sure. And so the hope then is that it helps us kind of find friction points that we don't intend, right? We know that we've got a friction heavy game. We are to knees. Oh wait, I was about to make a bad analogy about carpet and knees and rug burn and then some of our systems, but I blew it. But you've already got the imagery now stuck in your head. We are a game with friction. We know this. We've got some friction points. Depending on who you ask, it's because we just don't know any better, and so we just did it like those other games in rose-colored glasses, and you're never gonna throw the football over the mountain, man, and like you know that shit. But for us, we know that there's certain friction that we're hoping creates a certain vibe, and then also works with the certain lubricants that we've put in. So we've got a lot of friction, and then we've got some lube, and so. Or knee pads, as you're stating in, niche but accessible. I would say, the whole point of making a niche game, making a niche game, is to no Diddy. Hey, Chris from New York. We've got plenty of baby oil for our niche game. So Yeah, the thing is the thought is there are certain things that we feel build a unique identity. And a lot of, just go on this rant one more time. I guess I'm going to go on it for every stream until we go live and then beyond. And when there's only 15 of you playing, then, you know, various folks can come in and be like, I told you to make it just like that other game over there. Yeah. So when all the games make the same decisions for the same reasons, then I don't know. Is it just going to be pick the one that you think looks the best? Has slightly different content? I don't know. Uses different words. DeHorsey, thank you for the follow. But anyway, so we are tracking these events, right? This is all, hey, what's going on, Simon? This is all stemming from, what's up, Thavik? You know, the origin of this conversation was, yes, we're doing funnel tracking, and yes, we'll be looking at where people churn and then determining what we think is like the appropriate amount of churn in each spot. There are going to be certain areas where we really we want to minimize as much churn as possible. And the higher up in the funnel that you prevent churn, the better, right? Because there's more people. It's making the funnel wider. And do we need to put M&M friction lube in the shop? If we'll look, I don't think the print on demand has that, but maybe it'll be like a water. Maybe we'll sell water bottles for you to store your lube in. What's up, Viper? Alistair. Lube on demand. That is a service. So Swanee said another banger from First Time Chatter. Yeah, we've had a lot of people like just come out of the woodwork with first time chats and just like, wow, perfect. You seem to know us. The Devil's Lube. What, Fezzik? I don't even want to know what that is. I don't think. Yeah, but there are going to be areas where we hope for water. we hope for no friction, right? Like, so the installer area, when you download the installer, we're hoping that there's like next to no churn there. We want you to download the installer and basically have it install. Everything's good. Have no issues like some of the people are running into with manifest, you know, blah, blah, blah issues and all this other shit. And then you get in. The hope is that for the most part, you're not quitting until you run into the stuff that we kind of expect some people are going to quit because of, right? So like, oh no, I died and I have to get my corpse. Quit. Oh, I can't find an end to sell all of my critter bits to, and that is a tedious slap in the face. Quit. Like those points we'll watch. But what we want to make sure that we're looking at and really addressing are like the things where we don't expect there to be too much friction, right? So yeah. So anyways, that's the funnel. We're doing some funnel tracking already. And you know, it gives us the ability to look at some different events and things that, you know, from previous play tests, and that'll help us also mine our usual leaderboard stuff. Let me catch up with your comments. Going to make an AI slop game called Memories of Monsters, launching same day as M&M. Thoughts on my business plan? It may work. I mean, AI could be pretty powerful. I don't know. What is that? Is that the entirety of your business plan? Is that the entirety of your PowerPoint, Camden? You're just going to make an AI slop version of the game and you're going to launch it on the same day? Yeah, I don't know. It may work. It's a niche of a niche of a niche. Hey, Careless Rex was taken. Chris said, I thought I commented before, but I've been following and reading newsletters for a long time now. Oh, no worries. You've done the bulk of the work. We know that we've got some lurkers. Some people get their knees scraped and then go on to say Eminem is a game that deliberately scrapes the skin off your knees. And some people take that as a challenge, right? Like some people remember, well, most of you guys are pretty young, so maybe you don't remember like riding a bike and falling. I know a lot of you had basically were just raised by moms that never let you fall. But like people my age used to ride around on bikes outside and stuff and jump them over things they shouldn't and modify them and all that stuff even when they're kids. And we would scrape our knees and, you know, we'd cry and shit, not gonna lie. But then, you know, like that's how we kind of broke down and be like, oh man, it's okay. You know, you can cry, homie. Because that was a sick jump you tried. And then you just like dust yourself off and you're like, oh, you feel badass the rest of the day because you got some nice knee scrapes. You can show them off. And then other people are like, man, I kind of want to try to jump too, man. I saw he scraped his knees and, you know, if I scrape my knees, I'm not going to cry, but yeah. And you just kind of, you go with it. So, I mean, I think, I don't know, man. Maybe the way for us to make corpse runs not so bad is like if when you die, like you don't get your corpse, but you get a participation trophy. Like that goes into your inventory. You get a little trophy. It's like almost lived. It's like I don't know. Like I'm trying to brainstorm for the younger generation. Teams trying to like smash the disconnect button on stream. Like, damn, stop it. Somebody asked a good question earlier, and I just went into my silly business. Zokarel said, have you heard about the Daybreak THJ lawsuit? Do you have any feelings about how you would want to handle potential emulator of Eminem in the future? Feel free to ignore if it's too much of a derail. Probably going to be... I mean, I can't comment on it specifically. It's not really my place to talk about what's going on with that. Definitely aware of it. And we've taken a look. So how we would handle it. I guess there's a difference between is our game active and we're an active, is Eminem at the time an active commercial project? Or is it we've kind of wound down to like a maintenance mode or something along those lines. And what we've talked about is if we get to a point where it's like, hey, we find that either the project's not feasible or we've moved on, right? And we've got like a small base, but we've got other projects that have like grown. So like whatever, 20 years, 25 years. One of the things we talked about early on, even as we were first winding up Eminem, was this idea of, because we look and there's these great IPs out there that are, no company's doing anything with them. They no longer have like a commercial sort of like active commercial presence or whatever the term would be. We've talked about in the past that we would love, if we had the cash, we'd love to start like a nonprofit, and have that nonprofit be focused on acquiring IP and then basically supporting emulator communities. So that's kind of the direction that we would want to go in. Like, you know, and it's one of those things, it's how long is long enough? How much money is enough money? No, it would be IP that we own, right? And so, like, if we had a nonprofit, the goal of the nonprofit would be to purchase the IP, right? So if there's like a, you know, if there's an IP out there that no one's doing anything with, that they're willing to sell, that, right? So, you know, for example, but I believe Daybreak owns this, but like Vanguard, a lot of people love Vanguard, and you know, that's one of those things that'd be like, oh man, a lot of people love it, but not so many that it's worth the company, I guess, doing something with it officially and trying to make some cash off of it. So something like that would be like, hey, if we had the cash, you know, could we purchase that? And then what we'd do is we'd have a community that help like spin up the servers and share knowledge and help fund the servers and all that type of stuff. So that was always one of those kind of like pie in the sky if we ever had the cash thing. And I think that would be the direction that we'd want to go in. If we like I said, if we find that either the game's just not viable at some point, or we, you know, it's kind of run its course, but it's had a good life, then we would, I think, we wouldn't want to just sit on the game and like warehouse it, I guess is the easiest way to say it. We wouldn't want to warehouse it. We'd want, you know, we'd want it to be out there. So everybody's mentioned their scars and stuff, which is good per my previous thing. Goblin said, funny enough, Fable had it where if you got hit or died, your character would get a permanent scar. Called a participation trophy in memory, Ginny said. You've gathered a memory. Yeah, I would think so. I mean, that's not an official statement, but I think I think when we've talked about it in the past, we'd have to have, you know, we basically have to have the official full-on all parties that have a say involved sign off on it. But I could have sworn when we've talked about it in the past, we said if we hit a point where it wasn't viable, rather than just shut it down and throw it away or whatever, we just, you know, gift it to the community. I also think, though, I mean, I look at it like this, like if it was later in the project's life cycle, you know, if there were other projects that were become like the breadwinners, but like M&M had kind of cycled down after a good old life of however many years, cycled down to just being kind of like a small core community. But then whatever else is, you know, going on was like really just kind of keeping us good cash wise. Then I could see us like supporting emulators even while it's still there. Like, just because you would see cool innovation and shit. Like I don't know, we'd probably even like set it up so that you're using our launcher and other stuff, and we would just maybe have some certain rules of like, you know, don't do anything illegal on it or whatever. Like, I don't know. It'd be an interesting thing to explore, because I always thought it was like a missed opportunity for games to not like more officially support the emulator scene. And I understand like it's the concept of like that cannibalizes some cash you could get or whatever, but I'm like, yeah, you know, put tools out even to allow them to make new content. But it's kind of like, what would I rather have? People completely churn away from our project, or there always being some people checking out the old, the old project, or like different takes on the project that people are doing and having fun and like, trying weird shit. And then we like lean into it and be like, oh, that's cool. Like, I don't know. How hard would it be to have people pay a subscription but be able to log into customer servers through your interface? Custom servers through your interface? I don't think it would be super hard. I mean, at that point, I think it would, maybe the tables would turn. It'd be more like, would the emulator folks be like, oh man, we're doing all this work and we're not getting anything for it? But then maybe you give them a little cut, right? Or maybe you give them the bulk of the cut and you keep a little cut for yourself. I mean, there's fucking business models to explore there. Old School RuneScape already does this. I didn't realize they were like doing custom server, like supporting custom servers. Yeah. I mean, and the other thing too is like, and if you've got an emulator that's like really kicking ass, so I can only speak for us. I can't speak for other companies or other teams. But like if we are at that point and then people are doing some really innovative stuff, isn't that a great place to either find talent or like pull ideas? I would think, my belief would be that it's worth like having teams integrated with those emulator teams. There's a lot of passion there. Let me see what's on Brainstorm. It's a cool idea, Chinny. I thought, without spoiling Chinny's idea, but like I thought Project Gorgon had a really cool take on it. Project Gorgon actually tracked all the different ways that you died, I think, or tracks, not tracked. They're still around. Right? Because every time I died, I'd be like, new achievement. Is it possible Eminem will sell a collector's edition of the game? For us it's a goal, right? Like if we have the interest, and make enough cash to like be able to support the creation of the boxes and the maps and all that stuff. Stab on our team. Stab's already, he's Swiss, so naturally he sought out a French company. We've already got like one estimate from a company in France that could produce like boxed copies with maps and manuals and stuff. It's a bit expensive, but the bulk of that was shipping, it looked like. So if we could reduce that, and of course, like the more we can commit to purchase, the lower the prices for you guys and all that stuff. Yeah, dying is a skill in Gorgon. It's very cool. But yeah, I mean, we've been pretty open with you guys. We haven't been 100% open with everything, but we've been pretty open with you guys. So, I just think, our approach to emulators and stuff in the future will also kind of be with that in mind. Like, everybody talks about like wanting to throw money at the game. Appreciate it a ton. The main thing that we will, the main thing that'll benefit us when we go live is like, people being patient and dealing with whatever shit pops up and you know, like it's gonna be like every other game that goes into early access or goes live. Like every launch is rough. So stick around, keep encouraging people, be positive, you know, keep paying your subscriptions for all 20 of your accounts. Funslinger said, I'm really excited about Eminem because of your organization and not focusing on random little dreamy features. And if you only knew. I mean, we're pretty focused, but we still got our dreamy feature stuff going on. But we also, I mean, speaking of which, we still got to get our like our whole player-facing bug list thing sorted out and posted. Black Rose Site said, I'm so excited for this weekend. Got 4 others to sign up and a few more on the fence. Hey, you know what? Like, oh, if you want information about early access here, check it out. Yeah, free play test this weekend. I'm hoping you folks that have never played before, again, come in, be patient. We can't promise you everything's going to be perfect. That's pretty. There's still some weird shit going on with materials and stuff in here. And we're eventually going to figure out what we're going to do water solution wise. This is temporary, but let me shoot my mom a message really quick. I just saw that she tried to call. Streaming. What's a loving mamba? Yes. Oh, whenever I'm not looking. Ooh, a fog settles in. I kind of want to stick around and see what happens when the fog settles in. Is the fog settling in or not? Oh, I feel like framing the game and experience, we can do wonders, frankly. Dark Souls got away with killing players and wasting literal hours of players' time crushing their balls. But they marketed a game like that. Yeah, I mean, Goblin, do you feel... I mean, that's kind of been the plan with the, you know, with us being so open. You know, part of us being so open and streaming and constantly kind of reiterating this stuff and like here and Discord and other places is, you know, it's a bit of, it's meant to help establish that context. I think our community does a really good job of communicating that when people come into Discord as well, right? Like it's, people are like, oh yeah, and this is, you know, blah blah blah, and it's like, and then people let them know what's intended and what's not intended, and so that's but I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, Gavin. And I think it's just always, it's about like always trying to find more ways to do that well, right? Like communicate that, reiterate that message. Once the village is finished and lit and stuff, it's gonna be a cute little place. Agency to take meaningful risk draws me to this interpretation of classic MMO and Souls-likes for sure. Yeah, I mean, you know. And we really will be providing more and more tools for you guys to help each other, for you to help yourself. But yeah, there are consequences. Feels like there have been less trolls lately. Those that do show up are kind of weak. Discord crew's been putting in work. Yeah, I mean, it's the internet, right? So there's always going to be trolls. But you guys do a great job of like just communicating what the reality of things is. That ladder has an unnatural glow. It does. It's not lit properly. Something weird's going on with it. It's also not climbable. So, good catch, Dula. That will change closer, Jan. I think these days will not last. Maybe. I think we'll get a surge. We'll get surges of people that don't know what we're about. I think it's the material, because look, this wood's also glowing oddly. That's how you can spot a mimic. Mimics are an eventuality, yeah. All the various mimics. Yeah, I'm less worried about trolls and shit, because like, okay, I think there are two different like categories of like trolls and haters. There are the trolls, right, that are they're gonna come into our various environments, whether that be our subreddit or Discord or I guess chat. If you want to deal with me and voice directly using text, then I guess if that's what you want to do, that's fine. It's less work for me because I don't have to type my smart ass responses, but like I think what we'll see is we'll have people come in and they'll be the usual people that come in and they're like, you know, this concept is stupid, this is dated, this is lazy design, this is bad, this is living in the past, all that usual stuff, right? But they come in and they're disruptive a little bit. You guys kind of go back and forth, and then they for the most part they disappear. And it's pretty much, it's not who cares, right? Like it's disruptive a little bit. And it has like, I think it probably has the opposite impact, right? Because what it does is the people that like the game and the people that are a part of the community, the trolls come in, they get all riled up and they're like, how dare you? Right? Because you guys that actually like the concepts and want the game as it is, it just reiterates, like, you're like, oh man, this, because they're not just trolling us, they're trolling something that in theory you want, right? So that's not a big deal. The thing that I think can be a bit shitty, I don't like saying toxic because I'm 50. I think that's more like if you're like 35-ish, plus minus 5 years, then it's like, that's toxic. But I don't know. Anytime I hear the term toxic, no matter what it's related to, I just think it's, you know, somebody, I don't even want to get it. So The thing that I find kind of shitty is when you've got people that then sit in environments that are, in theory, representative of your project, of your game, of your company, right? So like our subreddit or Discord or whatever, like having people like sit in there and just like straight talk shit, at some point, you know, it turns into a, all right, just like time them out and then ban them. It's like, because either way, it doesn't matter. They'll wind up going to some other game's Discord and they'll be like, every time it's like, I got banned from such and such Discord, because it's an echo chamber and you can't say anything that disagrees with the echo chamber or you'll get banned. And okay, so you're in some other game's Discord talking shit about us. Okay. That may make it so that anybody that's in that Discord may not give us a fair chance. But like in our Discord and in our subreddit and things like that, we just don't need it. Because when people do come in for the first time and they look at this was something that Smed talked about back in like the Variant SOE days, was like, oh, you know, we have a forum and our forum is just full of people shitting on us. And so if you're a new customer and you come in and like, hey, what's this game all about? Let me go check out their forums. Oh, it's the worst game ever, and the designers don't know what they're doing and all this other shit. Like, I think, you know, and I don't know, I'm not the sole decider on how this is going to play out, but like, I think allowing for that type of discourse in your Discord, in your environment that you maintain, it doesn't provide any value. And the only thing that people can say if you do wind up banning them or whatever is like, oh, they won't allow us to sit in there and shit on the game. Okay, yeah, you're right. You can go literally anywhere else and do that. And so, you know, and I hear it when people are like, oh yeah, well, but people don't complain about good experiences, but people sure voice their bad ones. Yeah. And ultimately it's, I mean, the bigger deal ultimately is always the people that don't say anything. They just quit, right? But I find it's such an interesting phenomenon when people, air quotes, people don't like what you're doing, but they're still in your Discord talking about it. I'm like, I don't know, like, I mean this with as much empathy as I can muster, but like, what's wrong with you? Like, no other hobbies? Nothing else to do with you? You've got a finite amount of time on this earth. Like, do some other shit. I don't have time for all the stuff that I like doing, let alone sitting around and like in some game that I'm supposedly not going to play, telling them that I'm doing it wrong. I'm like, I mean, that's like super loser behavior. They feel slighted you're not making a game specific for them and they're burned out on their last game. Well, then just go do some other shit, man. Like, honestly, go masturbate or something. Like, do anything else with your time. Don't do both, though. Not at the same time. That's taking it too far. But, like, honestly, go do some other stuff. But, like, just sitting in there and telling us why we're doing it wrong, it's it's so odd. It's so odd. And then there's the kind of like, the only reason why I'm in here shitting on your game is because I care about you. Like, oh my goodness. I worry about your personal relationships if that's your approach. Girl, the reason why I'm telling you ugly is because I care. The reason why I'm telling you you're ugly is because I care. Yeah, sorry. No, we're good. We're good, homie. I just, and also the number of people that are like, listen, I ran into this problem. Now I figured it out, but I worry that other people aren't going to figure it out. I ran into this problem and it sucked, but I persevered. But you know, but you need to realize that other people aren't going to persevere. Okay. Thank you, my lord, for saving us. Good thing that you were tough enough to make it through that. Let's just see how the other people react. Simon said, I hit because I love. Yeah, it kind of feels that way sometimes. The Fezzik, thank you for the follow. All right, on topic. It's not going to be a very long stream tonight because I've got a. I gotta hop on a train with my wife and my puppy, and we're gonna head down to Munich for. She's got a seminar for like 5 days, so I'm gonna be in a hotel room for the bulk of the day when she's training, and then we'll head out and see a bit of the city or whatever. So I gotta finish making sure my laptop's squared away. Gotta call my mom back later, all that stuff. So that sort of approach feels like there's a good amount of pressure though, being people's last ditch effort for something they could almost like. I'm not done streaming, Bill. I'm just saying I need to actually do some stuff on stream now because I'm gonna end the stream early later, but not at this moment. Yeah, Goblin. And here's the thing, like, those of you that have provided feedback because you know you do care and you just think we're a little wrong or whatever, I get it, but at some point you've also got to realize, you know, especially when you're arguing with us about it, it's like that it's not really feedback. Like, we're getting feedback from different channels, right? We've got friends and family. We've got we are getting feedback. We're doing a lot of thinking, and we do have some sleepless nights about some of our decisions, probably. Somebody probably does on the team. But it's, you know, we have a plan we want to execute on, and we have contingencies. There's so much of this stuff that's like, this game would just be perfect if they undid X, Y, and Z. It's like, okay, well, give us a chance to try it with X, Y, and Z. And if we find that X, Y, and Z just really aren't working, and that is the difference between like failure and the perfect game, then what we'll do is we'll take that afternoon and we will run a couple of like sequel scripts and make a couple of adjustments of some parameters and make the game perfect. Nice nips on that giant. I was thinking about giving these guys some shirts. All right, this is your zone. Those of you, I've just spent 51 minutes on the opening monologue. Now that that's over, this is your zone. We don't have any plaid shirts at the moment, Eric. If we did, we don't have any nip rings that will show, but in theory we could make a item called a nipple ring of whatever. What level is that giant? He is higher level. I feel like that would be a spoiler if I told you the exact level. Now you understand where the forest loops came from and why they were so plentiful. No big red shirt, axe, and blue ox with him. So here's his axe. Did you guys, a lot of you not here on Thursday. So on Thursday, you guys designed this, remember? This guy is looking for his axe. He forgot where he left it. No, you're not gonna get it. You don't get to pick the monster levels. That's one thing you guys don't get to do. We're gonna do that based off of need and appropriateness. I was also thinking about giving these guys all, like, giving all of them beards up here. What do you think? He's blind if he can't see the axe. Well, it was darker when we came up with that plot line. Yeah, there you go, Trooper. Trooper nailed it. He's also missing his glasses. Speaking of, I've got new glasses. But now I have to have 2 sets of glasses. So these are my new seeing far away glasses. But then I've got new glasses that are coming in next week that are the actually being able to see my monitors glasses. So these are pretty high powered. Yeah, maybe my eyes would get used to it. But yeah, so I have two sets of glasses now because I'm getting pretty old. Looks better without a beard. Okay, well, we've got some with and some without right now, so we'll leave them without a beard then. Should they have shirts, or are you good with Hey, what's up, Dark Inside? Will they help you see your monitor from Munich? Funny's funny. No shirts is pretty cool. All right, we'll leave them no shirts then. That saves some work. All right, so we do have Have you seen the recent Stop Killing Games video from Accursed Farms? I don't think I don't think I have. Wonder what your take is, having been a dev on MMOs. I have to take a look. What's the summary? So Bjorn made us the prop that we asked for. Remember, you guys suggested we have some trees that are knocked down, but all our existing trees have this little, they're missing the faces down here. Bjorn has made us a new tree with faces on the bottom so that we can have some toppled over trees. I just don't have any examples in yet. We've had some modifications to the building per your suggestion. I think we took the center pillar out, so I've got some floating torches in here, but now we can put a big fire in the middle because there's a hole in the ceiling. I think we probably want maybe a new tent at some point. Is this a new UI? Valkron, yeah. And so here's where the pillar used to be, but now we've got a nice hole in the ceiling. We can put a campfire in here as well. And then we'll get this propped up with stuff to hop on. Maybe the giants could have wargs as pets. Yeah, some giant wolves. The giants in Vale of Zintar have giant wolves. So you know what we can do? We can make some wolves tonight. This looks way better. I can finally get behind this. Yeah, so I was asking about that earlier. I've seen comments. I've seen comments sometimes on Discord about like the UI, and we've got a lot of work going into the UI. So, I'm hoping that some of the comments where people are like, hey, you know, the UI is like still in progress, or they didn't like aspects of it or whatever. I'm hoping that a lot of it's just outdated. They haven't been in a playtest in a while or haven't seen stuff. So we got a lot going on with the UI. We've got stuff with the UI that I don't think I've even done yet. Like I don't. How do you get the whole minimized encrypt or goblin? Somebody, how do you get the whole minimized little persona bar? I don't think I've ever done that. Right click it. Pop out. Oh, there we go. Like there's so much shit that I don't like. I haven't even messed with. I'm like, I find myself busy with other stuff. You want to find the giant's hooch operation? That'd be interesting. Dark Inside, excuse me, said my housemate put the fire alarm off cooking sausage while I was trying on clothes my mother bought me from Mark's work warehouse, and I was trying to get the pants on, and I had to run out of the house with no pants on, just boxers. Oh, nice. How's the weather there? What about bear pets from Mountain Forest Bears instead of... we could do that, but the bears aren't animated. They kind of slide around at the moment. Goblin said summary is it's just more clarification on what Stop Killing Games is and last ditch effort to get the initiative some more coverage. Okay, interesting. Valkron, I've got no thoughts to share on that topic. All right. Factions, we got a faction window now. Sort by progress, reaction, name. I think my UI is actually kind of scaled down a bit, so it may be a little hard to... I'll scale it up a little bit, make it a little bit easier to see. So in theory I could put this somewhere. We'll have to work on the readability a little bit, but the functionality's in. That's tight. Faith's still in progress. Take a look at the scale window option too. Right click on the character sheet. Oh, that's right. I remember seeing this in Slack. Bagroom said, I may be alone on this, but I find the class animation in the window very distracting. I wouldn't be shocked if at some point you can hide it or unhide it. We're putting in a lot of customization. All right. Ledger. So you can see basically your item interactions. So, you know, your dropped items, items you've picked up, looted, coins you've looted, items you've destroyed. We've also got death level, I guess, as just things that have occurred. And then items that you've traded. So if something's missing, you can kind of go back, sort by zone, action, and then time when it happened. So you can get a feel for like, oh, where did that go? Or I don't know that I've purchased anything. It is purchased in here. We should, yeah, we've got to get purchased in, so then you can also see like what you've purchased, what you've sold. That'll also help you kind of keep up with, like, if you're a trader, then you can kind of see what you've been buying or selling things at price wise. So that's pretty cool. And then we got a guild window. Apparently I'm not in a guild on this tune. And then we got a social ledger. You got your friends list, and then the social ledger. You can see like people you've grouped with. Sort by level, class, zone, actions. So party created, party joined, disbanded, party invite, items looted, coins looted. Yeah, so you can track your behavior while grouping and things like that. Like if you need to, you're like, who was that awesome gnome that I grouped with last Sunday? Then you can go track that person down, see their name, send them a message. Yeah, so there's a lot of functionality going into the UI. Does the social one also show a like a who for zone, etc.? Well, I mean, you've got a command for that. Does it? And then, yeah, the various windows can pop up individually. Oh, if you have friends online. Okay. Only English, I assume, so far? Yeah. English is our focus. Let's see. Would be nice to add note to friends, so if nothing else I could add a note and then sort by note. Yeah, that would be good. Are these giants akin to the giants in Road Desert? I mean, these giants are akin to the giants in Vale of Zentar Desert. I mean, yeah, giants are kind of gianty. Let's see, what else did we do? Hey, what's up, you shoes? Did some terraforming over on the... Oops. In this other area. I just grabbed some... Now it's like floating weird, or... Oh no, that's just the water is kind of weird. Bjorn's investigating water solutions right now. And you'll see like trees and stuff are popping just because I haven't got anybody to bake out like all of the changes. Hey Darius. You guys had a great water thing before? So we've been using a mix of Crest and then we were looking at, and then within Crest we were able to do some interesting reflections and stuff. But then the problem with Crest is trying to make it conform to like rivers and waterfalls and stuff has been kind of a pain in the ass. So we're looking into various other solutions. And so Bjorn had cobbled together a shader that did some of it, but it doesn't do everything. So he, this very moment, maybe not this very moment, but at like the moment this week, he's looking at the various options that we have, and we'll be working with the tech guys and stuff to lock it down. So we may be using the latest upgraded version of Crest. We may wind up doing Unity 6 water, but we're going to try to find a solution that's kind of like a one-stop shop that does everything we need. So yeah, so I got, I broke the zone. Chinny said I've got testing with Unity Water at the moment if you ever want to explore that option. Can you ping Bjorn on that? Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm kind of ambivalent on what water we use, just as long as we can like get one solution instead of having to cobble. Like streams and rivers are not Crest, and then everything else is Crest, but then it's a pain in the ass for pools, and then half the time we log into a zone, it's like you get the weird wobble water wall where the splines no longer align properly, and it's just like and you can't have a green pool of water over here, and because the crest for that scene is like set up to be blue, or like at the end of the day I'm kind of just a consumer, and I just, but what I don't what I think would be inappropriate is if we just like, if we pick a solution that doesn't allow us to do like different pools of water and bodies of water in one zone or whatever, right? Like that's just too limiting. But yeah, somebody was commenting on mountain mass near a foggy forest. It's like the Dimholt. Man, I like all these zones. I appreciate it. Dimholt. What's the Dimholt? Am I a Dimholt for not knowing it? There are definitely plans for underwater combat areas. Dimholt. Was the forest situated at the base of Drummerberg Mountain past Dunharrow? Oh, cool. All right. Beautiful reference then. Yeah, this zone's definitely got a different mood than the other zones so far, and that's nice. It's nice when that can happen. And no worries. I'm probably the only person on the team that didn't get the reference. So I broke the zone earlier in the week, trying to add some caves into it, just because I grabbed some other caves as a starting point. And then I got them in. Bjorn helped me fix it. And but I haven't actually run through the caves because it was broken. And I haven't really had, because I couldn't run through the caves, I didn't do anything to modify the caves. I basically just, because we had talked about having a little mine around for these giants in here. That was part of your design, right? And so I just tossed something in really quickly so that there was at least something here that served that purpose, and also gave me an opportunity to like try to add something like that. Any thoughts on undead areas? We have a lot of undead areas. At the moment, we've been trying to get away from so much undead. So Velcron, there are plenty of undead areas. Let me... Cool. So the caves, these caves can actually be scaled down even. But like you see this like wacky shit here where it's all not flat and stuff. It's just because I wasn't able to like come in and even look at it. Because when I added it, I just broke everything. Are there plans for areas meant for trade skilling in the future? Like mine type dungeons for crawling for extra ore? You mean like a forge or something that's in a dungeon? That for sure. Finding different resources and maybe even like rare resource nodes in a dungeon also. Is there an MMO without a zombie undead zone? Oh, that's a good question, because even like weird MMOs probably have zombies. Like futuristic. Yeah. PlanetSide had no zombies or undead. There you go. Like a mine with hotspots for higher, denser areas for ore that's almost require an escort. Oh shit. Here we go. Yeah. This is massive. Great. So this can shrink a ton. Perfect. It's really, it's not my favorite mine that I've ever seen. But like I said, I just tossed something in super quick. I'd copied and pasted from somewhere else. And Nick might be willing to talk to you about MMO FPSs. Let's refrain from using any actual IP names. All right, so guys, this is your zone. Does anybody not know what we've been doing in here? Has anybody not been here for a while or whatever? I'll do the shtick real quick because it'll only take a minute. So for those of you that haven't been here for this thing, here's what we're doing. When we streamlined our world map down to try to make it something that we could actually get done in a reasonable amount of time, we basically removed some zones so that you know, we keep them. We've got a world map that's got all the extra zones in it or whatever, but we winnowed it down a bit so that we could have something that was a little bit more doable given our constraints. But then we talked about maybe doing a zone together on stream, and that's been this. If you're watching the VOD, you may already be aware of this because there's probably like a, I don't know, 6 or 7 on the title of this VOD. So we're on our like 6th or 7th stream on this topic, and like, you know, it's not like we spend the whole stream working on it because I spend the first 50 minutes saying inappropriate stuff and being abrasive, and then we kind of get warmed up, and then everybody's in here, and then we go into like discussing it. So I don't know, it's probably at this point somewhere between what, like 6 and 12 ish hours worth of work with you guys. So where we started was we basically said we've got Keepers Bight on that's in progress. We have Fields of the Lost that we're going to be adding as part of the first big update, Module 1, which is deep themed, but this just happens to be over to Deep Elf City. And so we'll be adding this as well. We talked a little bit about the themes that are available here because we kind of wanted to kit bash a zone together that was one that's a bigger one that's kind of more focused on traversal. Pretty easy for us to do an outdoor zone that's not like super complicated or have complex points of interest. And we started from there. And so what we did was we came up with a list of NPCs and ideas and themes, and we used those to basically start to build out our POIs. You see them here. If you're watching your VOD and you're new to this, you can hit pause if you haven't seen it before. So we use that to make this nice map together. And then we gave this map to Nicodemus, Bill, here in chat. And he likes to do these badass pencil sketch, and then he'll color them in and stuff. But maps for us is inspiration, right? So we're looking at, and you can see kind of the POI numbers are hidden in here and stuff. Little details. And so then what we did was we used this as a means of handing that over to an environment artist, in this case Bjorn. He asked about elevation changes. So pink arrows are ascending, brown arrows are flat. While he was doing that, Bill went ahead and started inking it in for us. Bjorn started to make the map 3D, and so that he could get it ready, basically put it in World Creator and make our 3D map. While he was doing that, Bill was coloring stuff in, and we came on stream. I don't know, it's like episode 2 or 3. With a stopwatch, we ran around and got some times to kind of feel all right with max move rate enhancement. How fast does it, how fast can we get across to the other zone lines, basically. We felt like it needed to be, a little inspiration, needed to be a bit bigger. So then I passed on the feedback. We made it 35% longer east to west. We made it 20% bigger north-south. You can kind of see this is the extension there. We kept the ravine size the same scale. And then we blasted out the lake a bit because the lake felt like a pond, not a lake. And so we made that bigger. And then from there, I went in and, oops. Oh, if I do this, scroll back to content. Cool. And then I went in and basically just started working in Blender a bit on my own as well, until I break something, then I have to ask for help. And started doing things like making the lake deeper, molding some of the terrain to work better with some of our structures and things like that. And then I just started propping it out. So that's what we've been doing so far. And then like over the weekend or whatever, I'd, like I said, tossed in a big cave. It's way too big. We can shrink it down. And here we are. So next steps, because I think we've got the terrain pretty well handled. We'll always be coming in and like sort of like messing with it and resculpting and breaking up sight lines and looking at how things are working with props and adding more props. But the next big thing we'll be doing is just putting in more mobs. And so the process of adding in props and putting in mobs will also help us kind of iterate on the feel of the overall scale. And help us spot places where it's like, oh, that's too flat. Let's break that up a little bit. All right. So that's kind of where we're at. That's what we're doing on this one. We'll use this stream as kind of a catch up, but Confliction said, excited to play my Goblin Archer. Jorkenhog this weekend. Whoop whoop. It sounds like you've already got them. Did you play in a previous playtest? What's up, Quados? Red666 says, super excited for open weekend. This game is so fantastic. Have you played before, Red? Confliction said I did play before. Nice. Hey, Steel Rose. Possum says, what's your inspiration for zone names? Do you make most of them up beforehand or as you're making the zones? Because I love some of your zone names. We've got, I mean, it's a mix. We've got some zone names that are things that I've come up with and just put on a map. Sometimes they last. Sometimes they get modified as we start talking about it. Sometimes the zone names come from... like we'll go back and, you know, I think Evershade Wield wound up being one where there was a zone name and then we were just like, hey, I mean, it was like Evershade before. No, Evergrove before. And then we were just like, hey, who's got ideas for names? And then we just kind of narrowed it down. Some of the zones are named by other folks that just were like, hey, what about this? Or I have an idea for a zone. So it's just a mix. Names like Veil of Zintar came from Hamad when Hamad was doing a bunch of world building and stuff for us. Sungreed Strand was his. Like a lot of the Zur stuff came from Hamad, so don't want to like fail to properly accredit that as well. Viper said, since it's a traversal between lower levels, will the safe path have lower levels compared to the giants? Would be cool to have high levels here killing giants and lower levels traveling through. Having newer, lower levels be able to interact with. Yeah, Viper, we tend to have a mix. So that's something where there'll be without a doubt, there'll be a mix. It won't just be like instant death running through here, but it'll be, but it'll definitely be one that keeps you on your toes. Sunday Online Guy said, this is the best game I've ever played. Thank you for saving my life. And then proceeded to interact with Quantos. So just your interaction with Quantos makes me suspicious of you. Not just because he called you a terrorist, which is a pretty big offense, and you'll probably have to go on our list. Don't worry. Don't worry. We talked to some people. They have Eminem installed in Gitmo. You'll be okay. You just need to give up the names first. If the waterboarding doesn't work, they tempt you with Eminem. Keyframe said no snitching. No snitching, no Eminem. Red said the racial inmates, are they hush hush until EA? I think you mean innates. Otherwise, it's just a completely different like imagery. Yes. Yes. It's not that they're hush hush until EA. It's but different imagery, but appropriate. Like we were just talking about Gitmo, I guess. It's not that they're super secret or whatever. It's just something that we're working on. So we just got to get it. We got to get it hammered out, and then we'll blab about it like we do everything else. Anaraku says, question: do you plan on some areas in zones intending them to be areas for players to gather? Or do you just make the zone and see where the players go? I mean, we motivate that a bit, and we motivate it a little bit more with things like, you know, the buffs that you can get from being in an inn or tavern, right? Like, you know, one of the reasons why we're keeping such a tight handle on like where you can sell certain items is because then we have the ability to control things like where you may want to go to gather, right? Like, so there's going to be a sojourner camp over here that we'll set up. Now, depending on what's available at that sojourner camp in terms of like merchants and things like that, that changes kind of the nature of who may want to go there, and you know, for what reason. Adding things like, one of the things that I want to get in, we've got it in Shallow Shoals. We actually, that's interesting. But like in Shallow Shoals, we have an island that's just player housing, right? So it seems like then if you can rent the houses on that island, then you can set up shops. If we put in something like the ability to maybe rebuild a wizard port or a druid ring, or depending on what we ultimately do with, you know, maybe some certain banking functionality or features, you know, then that allows us to create various social congregation points. And it's the same thing with like staples and mounts, right? So if we leave here, this will not be marked, the VOD will not be marked as an official. We worked on the zone stream because we are actually not working on the zone. But let's go back to Keepers Bight. Have a banker that only changes coins and doesn't let you access the bank spaces? Well, banks are local, so it may not be that valuable. But that might be a thing that we could do. Or a player could just change coins for you. Put in money changers. Have interactable tables. I don't know. At least one of you will get that joke. Speaking of, I'm looking forward to this season of The Chosen. But yeah, so like over here, we look at, you know, we look at the different zones and kind of like the amount of travel that's going on, and places that you can go to rest, right? So this will end up being an inn and tavern in this tree. There's also an inn and tavern over in Pinshaw, the village that's over there. But the that village will have different faction requirements or different factions associated with it than like this. So just in sort of like this couple of zone area, we know that you've just come a pretty good ways up from Vale of Zentar, right? Like you went through Vale of Zentar. Sorry, you didn't come up from Vale of Zentar, like Night Harbor, through Shaded Dunes, Fallen Pass, Vale of Zentar. And so There should be a stable here now. Yeah. So, oh, I got to give him maybe a little horse list since there may be some for sale. And again, stables are local as well. So we got to build this out to look more like a stable, but there'll be a stable here so you can stable your horse and then you can go up here and, then we'll have an inn. Oh, I just fell off. House looks a little too large. It's possible. I think the houses, like, cause this is just reusing a prop from Pinshaw. I think they still need a little bit of love. Man, this is kind of a trek. I always fly up here. I don't think I've ever run it. I don't know what's going on with her. I don't know what's going on with her eyebrows. Something happened. This is an establishment of drinking. It needs its buff though. I need to put the volume on here. Kale brows. So this is the inn. You'll be able to rent rooms here as well and then come in here and get the buff. We should probably add the buff in here. Some pub music is needed. It's true. Why is Slack so crazy right now? Let me see what all is being discussed. Okay. Mark that on red so I can come back to it. Then I'll mark this as on red and come back to it. Good stuff to read. I just don't think you guys want to watch me read. Okay, nothing crazy going on. Can you get drunk in this game? I don't know if it's in yet. But it will be in. And that's a great point. You can get drunk and then you're up here. This is a fun place to drink. I'm sure there'll be all sorts of drinking games going on. Drunken ramp race. You can definitely get drunk while playing the game. I have seen footage. Since I'll be out of town, I'm hoping to be able to watch various Twitch streams of you guys playing the game. So, oh, there's something invisible here. We'll have to fix that. Yep, Quatos. I was thinking of you. No, not vacation time. My wife has a seminar. She's a dental surgeon, and she goes a couple times each year for extra, like, big-brained. How are we going to do this one? Like training. So. For me, it's just like a good excuse to go to Munich, hang out. I wonder what the easiest way is going to be, because we don't want to do a spherical. I mean, we could do a sphere inside. And then maybe... Yeah, because that'll be fine. Needs a basement in there. And then we'll maybe put some flat volumes on here. Let me see if that's something I can do on stream or if it's going to require some concentration and I'll screw it up. Always welcome to join. I will be on my shitty old, super old laptop that I bought off my last company for like 150 euro. It's about as good it's good enough to run Slack. That's about all I can do on it. And so I'll be curious to see how good the Wi-Fi is at the hotel that we're gonna be at. So I'll hang out and like chat and stuff, but I'm not gonna be able to really do anything. Volumes. Volume. I'll be lurking in Slack and looking for inappropriate pet names so that I can flag your accounts. I can flag your accounts on my laptop. Swanee's tool is it'll run on there. Dude, it's been so long since I made a volume. Keepers Bight. Do we have, I think we've got some, don't we have, because we've got an inn over here as well. Yeah, well, that's not what I want to see. Spectre. Go up to A star. And yeah. What's the black wall thing? Probably the UI. Yeah, that is my chat box. Just, this is kind of what Unity looks like in scene view. There's my, see? We're looking at that right there. All right, so. Does this have a volume or not? Is that what you found in the shoals? No, I think that might have been something else. That might have been like something. Yeah, that was just like the height reference thing. I thought for sure. Let me check in here. I thought for sure I had added. I guess not. But I thought for sure that I had added a... But I didn't. Alright. So we have some in tavern volumes to add here. Let's see if we can do this. Cool. Yeah, the box for getting your rested buff. That is correct. Let me... It's actually, it's kind of hard to tell in here. Can picture the inevitable bugs of standing in spots in a room and not getting your bonus or your buff. Any plan for mounts, pack animals to have intelligence? For example, they won't be as responsive or may even stop when you're near certain mobs or areas that may scare them. No immediate plans, but that sounds like some stuff that if it was discussed and we thought it was cool or whatever, it wouldn't be hard to add in over time. That's the kind of, those are the kinds of expansion on ideas that we can do during early access. And, you know, basically we're just taking an existing concept and expanding on it, right? So that's why it's nice to have the bulk of the system in, and then be able to, Keepers, Pinshaw, and then be able to, like, add in more functionality. Toss an int buff on your pack animal and have a conversation with it. Wouldn't that be cool? Dungeon Crawler Carl pilled. No spoilers. No spoilers for people that haven't read it. Dude, it's the best. We gotta finish re-listening. Stop all downloading. Hey kid, I'm a computer. Oh man, I miss the days of, I miss when that was the internet. When that's all that the internet was. I think that was from the, dude, that was from the era of, the era where they didn't think that YouTube was going to be much of a thing. People didn't get it. They were like, yeah, we don't know if this is actually a worthwhile. We don't. Dude, so much of the world, like so much is just, it's just accident. Like there is no master plan to, yeah, this is This is going to be the prosumer platform of the future. If I'm not mistaken, one of my ex-wives, her friend from school, because she went to Governor's School for Science and Math when she was in high school in South Carolina. And one of her friends, we wound up meeting up with him at a little hangout in Vegas. He was one of the guys that, if I'm not mistaken, he was one of the guys that worked on the YouTube search algorithm as a passion project. And then when search got better, use of YouTube got better. Now that could be full of shit. He maybe didn't, but I could have sworn that was the story that we got from him. I know that he worked there. He wound up being loaded after he left there. So. She also went to school with Aziz Ansari. Ansari? I don't know. I'm not pronouncing it right. Hang on. One of my ex-wives? How long is that list? I have 3 ex-wives. I am on my 4th marriage. I joked with Jasmine that I was shooting for 5 by 50, but then I turned 50 and we're still together. So it's been moved up 5 by 55. That sounds expensive? No, actually. Nope. Has not been expensive. I mean, I guess it could have been cheaper, but it really hasn't been expensive. I mean, the first wife, I didn't have any money. I was in the army. I was a lowly, I think at that point I was probably just a lowly like private or private first class. So it's not like I had any money. And even if I did have money, you have to be separated for like, I think 6 months before you can get divorced in Virginia. And so she signed a separation agreement that basically stated even if I did have any money, then she would get none of it because she never read any paperwork. So that was handy. Second wife, that was a 14-year relationship. And at the end of that, I was just like, listen, keep everything, keep the house. I'm gonna keep the land near the house, my books, my paintings. That's about it. So, but I knew she liked the house, and yeah. So I mean, she got a pretty decent deal on that when she sold the place. And then third wife, that was just one of those ones where like, hey, do you want to just stop talking to each other forever? And I think we both agreed, and then high-fived, and that was that. Yeah. So there you go. No muss, no fuss. That's how your divorce went? We done? Yes? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But it was definitely one of those ones where it was like the second one was pretty rough. The second one sucked. And then, you know, afterwards you kind of like, oh, you know what? I think that was for the best. But the third one very much was like, really? Why did we do this so long? Like, oh man. Oops. Oops. Not that either. Volumes. Come back here, volumes. Ollie heard his name popped in. My future ex-wife, Ollie. It was 12 months in Virginia back in 2008? Really? Longilla? I thought it might, maybe it still is. Huh. Is it dependent on how long you're married? I think we were separated longer than we were married, to be honest. Elsie Severny, thank you for the follow. Not sure what happened, but that's how long I had to wait. I don't think it was a year for me, but maybe it was. Could have been. I don't remember. It all went by so fast. Okay, let's turn these guys off and back on again and see if they still work. Well, that's the start. I am so far away from these guys. Here, let me fly so the sphere of influence works. Wasn't Billy Piper and Chris Evans 3 days? Billy Piper was married to Chris Evans? Wait, is Chris Evans the Captain America guy? Thinking of Rich Evans? No, I'm not. That's not his name. I have a 50% success rate when it comes to marriage. Second one is still going after 16 years. Hey, good job. Congrats. Maybe you're talking about Billy Evans and Chris Piper? I experimented with putting this guy in the Wood Elf leather. He looks pretty badass in my opinion. Got to get these buildings propped out. Isn't this the wrong building for the rested? No, this will be a tavern when it's all fleshed out. Otto Roth is a tavern keeper. A tavern guy. Who apparently needs to get his Merchant list fixed. I thought that was already fixed. Oh well. We'll do that next. Ali's in Iran? No. But he's near there. He's right across the water. Gave us a little scare. Ali said, I mean, I definitely ran. I ran for my life. Oh man, it's not good. I was there. I was like, Ali, you need me to come get you? You good? We're gonna do Operation Skyhook for Ali and the fam. I was gonna fly in a C-130 with the hook and just like, boom, pick them up. There's a video of my wife. She's playing tennis when the sirens went off, and she had a court recorder. I think I watched it 50 times today. Was it? What did she do? Was it like? Is it kind of? Was it? Did she? Pure panic? Oh no, I feel bad about that, dude. Oh, that sucks. Dude, my wife and I are like we'd be like the couple from Tremors. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, Ollie. Are you Reba? I'm definitely Reba. You've not seen Tremors? Get the elephant gun for sure. Oh. Dude, Ollie, you gotta watch Tremors. It still holds up. It is a good movie. We watched it, I don't know, I think we watched it maybe last year. Michael Gross, I'm definitely gross. I just saw like someone on Instagram talking about Family Ties. And I was like, babe, we gotta watch Family Ties. I don't think Jasmine's seen Family Ties. Zukin has all the Tremors. Zukin, I gotta get with you and D. Like, I got a new phone. I installed the app on my phone, and I don't see anything on Plex. I need to get that fixed. What's up, Bills? Yeah, that's Reba McEntire. Dude, she's awesome. That movie still holds up, though. Watch it when you're 11? It's too soon? Oh, no way. Builds character. Weren't we talking about that earlier in the stream? There are like 7 Tremors movies? Zukin, do they stay good or do they get kind of bad? Because the original Tremors is like a really decent movie still. It's funny, when I saw that ad for Family Ties, I totally forgot that Michael Gross was in Tremors. I mean, I knew he was there and I could picture him, but I just, for whatever reason, my brain didn't connect it to. You know what else was a good movie that was underrated, but also kind of a bad movie? Remo Williams. It's the same dude from Tremors. Ollie, dude, it holds up. Fred Ward, yeah, Fred Ward. Isn't there a monster in M&M that burrows underground? I feel like you need one. I mean, we had yeah, we don't have any like big worms in there yet. We don't have any big worms in the game. Yeah, wait for the big worms update. Yeah, if we start rolling in the dough, big worms update. Oh yeah, you're right. True Nomad. Don't want to get in trouble adding worms to our sand. Hey Enduro. What's up, Big Perm? I mean, Big Worm. We can have grassboids. I think they'd come as for grassboids as well. Dude, that movie was kind of brutal. Like, you're kind of rooting for some of the guys. You're kind of rooting for some of the guys, and they definitely killed them off in Tremors. Ollie, the Tremors movie uses practical, like a lot of practical effects, so it holds up really well. And the humor and shit, the acting is solid for, I mean, you know, for it being kind of what it is, it wasn't like a cheap movie. I mean, Fred Ward was pretty hot at the time. Michael Gross, Reba, the Asian dude that was in like Big Trouble and everything else. The Kevin Bacon, right? Does your whole body have to be in the rested area to get it, or can you get it if your feet are only a part in the zone? Well, we really don't have like, I don't think we have like foot volumes. So if your little capsule is in place, then well, Ollie just listened to all of the Dungeon Crawler Carl books, so we may get discrete foot volumes added in to the game, but to date we haven't had foot specific tech. That may change though. There may be a stronger interest in feet. John, have you seen Remo Williams? Would you consider selling a monster manual in a shop? Guide to the monsters of M&M. Eventually that seems like it could be cool. Give the game a little time for you to like discover the monsters on your own first. We'll see. You guys talk a lot of game about like the stuff that you want us to eventually have and add. You better stick around. We'll see. Those of you that have never played before, if this weekend is your first time playing, then come back next Tuesday. I'll be back from out of town. You can come back and you can tell me what you think, how you felt, if you're still excited. If you're more excited. On a scale from meh to wowzers. Tell us what you're thinking. Some new perfume. Smells good. Smells good. No, it actually does smell good. I mean, you know, you don't have to spray it like you're trying to disperse a riot or anything, but... Listen, you spray in the air and then you saunter through. Saunter. Here.
Yeah,
well, when you smell it that close, it's got kind of a Frito-Lay kind of smell to it.
Oh, what?
Frito-Lay corn chips. But
it actually says something about rice.
Rice? Maybe rice chips then. Same spices though, for sure. But at a distance. At a reasonable distance.
So I have to sleep on the couch.
Frito-Lay perfume. That's what the dogs put on their feet. It has umami. You know, you can get like a spice that is umami built. It does not taste good. Don't recommend just eating the umami directly. Isn't that just supposed to be like a... Isn't it sort of like the je ne sais quoi of spice or something? I thought it was supposed to like... I thought umami was like the result of various combinations of things to produce an effect. And then, is that what that's called? The frickin' perfume's called Je ne sais quoi? I nailed it. Je ne sais quoi. I am what the French call les incompetents. Why are you spitting right now? Quatos, I think we are birds of the same feather in that regard. It's like tomato MSG taste, I think. I thought it was supposed to be like the culmination of tastes. I thought it was like a concept. I didn't realize it was just MSG. Oops, I'm still moving too fast. Oh man. Zukin, are you still there, buddy? Would you mind terribly fixing her? He's watching Tremors. I know he is. I only say that because it's almost 10 on my end, and then I'm going to be tied up, and then I'll probably not get it done, and then I'm going to be on the road tomorrow, and then... Yes, Ollie, it's true. Thank you, buddy. You didn't realize she was that kind of dentist? You remember Little Shop of Horrors? Candy bar, candy bar. Bill, the lightwood, we were noticing that on some ladders and stuff as well. Or which? You just watched Little Shop of Horrors last night? I wonder if Jasmine's seen it. Just watched Remo Williams trailer. We should do a group watch. It is a good movie. It's one of those ones that like you would think maybe it's cheesy, but it's just really it seems solid. Why were 80s movies so good? Why? They really were. It's not just hype either. They really, really were. Was Steve Martin the dentist on Little Shop of Horrors? Yes. He was the masochist. Just rewatched the He-Man live action. It was not so good. No, Dolph is badass, but the movie was not great. I just saw a reference to that the other day, actually. Yeah, you've got a fair point. Like they were allowed to be offensive as well, which was also pretty okay. Every bad guy isn't just misunderstood. Yeah. Watched 28 Years Later in theaters this weekend. Liked it quite a bit. Just one scene where I was like, but everything else was cool. Yeah. '90s had some good movies as well, for sure. I've dug the other 28s, so definitely it's on our list of things to see. All right, so we've got... Okay, that does not change that. Fair enough. But we'll have to set up the individual in rooms and stuff anyways, I think. Actually. So this will at least get us started. At least you get the bonus in here. Let me save this. Excuse me. Now, let me remember how these were hooked up. Zukin, are you streaming, buddy? Not today? Alrighty. Alright. Let me find these ends. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's all I gotta do. I can do that. Don't peace out yet. 10 more minutes waiting on a build. Oh, fair enough. I got 10 more minutes in me. Got caught up chatting here, so I forgot to do my... Got so caught up chatting here, I forgot to do my live stream. Oh no, Liz. We have been a bad influence. Are you hyped for Friday? I don't know. Are you guys hyped for Friday? One's in chat if you're hyped. Two's in chat if you're not hyped. Three's in chat if you just can't make it. You know I'm like watching like an eagle to sea. Uh-huh, exactly. Careless Rex. I've got my eye on you. Quatos. I also know you're lying. How many people will be playing the game for the first time this weekend? John, stop with the fake news. Anybody? Nobody's playing for the first time? Coot said, second test. True Nomad said, first real session. Checked out the stress test. Will be wife and son's first time. That's badass. That was going to be my next question. My next question was going to be, who's bringing some people in for the first time? The more of you that we can have bring people in for the first time and explain all the like counterintuitive UX stuff to them, the better. First time user experience, you know what our first time user experience is? Getting you veterans to bring people in and run them through all the challenging first time user experience. I've announced it as why I won't likely be streaming and given them the event and stuff to click on. Oh, thank you, Liz. Yeah, Discord definitely has some new people, and I think we added like 100, 150 yesterday or something. So Lasava's bringing some folks. This weekend's test should include your old characters, yeah. Quanto's bringing some people. Amnesiac. Luke's trying to lure some people in. Confliction said, I tried to get my girlfriend to play. She lasts about 11 minutes. That's fair. That's fair. Brought my ROL friend that's EQ nut in during the stress test. He wants more so badly. Nice. It's good to hear. Eric said, I got 2 of my closest friends to try out this Friday and a guild of 10 from my former guild to try it out. Nice. Player Killer said, I'm going to have my 70-year-old mom make a cleric. Nice. 11 minutes, that's superhero numbers there. Her, not him. Buddy. Swanee said, Air Force buddy of mine, it'll be his first playtest this weekend. He, his wife, and one of his sons. When you guys bring people in, do you feel a little nervous? Do you feel a little apprehensive? Like, oh, I hope they like it. Doggeroni said, my girlfriend tried it last playtest. Now she's breaking up with me. JK, she's breaking up with me for other reasons, probably. Keep an eye out. Make sure she's not, you know. If you see her ride by on somebody else's horse, it's disappointing, but. Black Rose said, this will be my first playtest. I'm hoping to sink 10 hours into the game over the weekend. That's respectable. Loving Robot giving bad advice since 1999. Yeah, I am not here for financial advice, relationship advice, medical advice. And like I said, I've got 3 ex-wives. I'd accept it if she rode by on a donkey. Those look sick. Yeah, I mean, if she's got a dude with a donkey, that's, I mean... All right. So we've got the warmth of the hearth enveloping us in here. Probably, you know, probably some bugs, but so far so good. Did you know that Bahrain has an annual donkey beauty pageant? That's pretty badass. Donkeys are cool, man. Donkeys are cool, and after reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, I'm a big fan of goats as well. No spoilers. I have a question for you guys. Should the hearth effect spread all the way out to here, to the courtyard? I don't know how it's going to be a pain in the ass to get the volumes out here, but to make this a social space out here, or should it only be inside? It should only be inside, right? Because then you come in and it's like, it's warm and smoky. Yes, because it's cool seeing people chilling outside. See, that's the question. That's kind of the thought. Everybody's kind of standing out here smoking. Yep, smoking their pipes. I like it spreading out. Feels like we allow the wallflowers to get buff out there. 12 feet from the doors in the smoking area. So there's some tables, social area out there. Yeah, so maybe we gotta, in fires, maybe we gotta figure out a little something out here. That would be, but it would need to be like braziers or something. There's something invisible that I'm colliding with here. Jumbrellas on the patio. There's a place for your mounts right down here. When you get past this weird collision. Down here. Oh, it's not meant to be an invisible wall. Okay. Here's a stable master, but we'll set this up to actually look like a stable. Very placeholder. So you drop your mount off, and then you gotta. Have I tried the lifts yet? Oh no, I haven't. Here, let's go look at them. Oh, are the lifts over by the on the shore working in this zone? No, I was not. I'm not in ESW. I'm in I was in Keepers Bight. Yeah, Keepers it's trucking along. It's got some lifts as well. Ooh. All right. He definitely looks shifty. Willem Dafoe looking dude. I saw a lift over here. Excuse me, sir. I don't know what that is about. Somebody hiding in the mountain. What? The lift's over there. Did I take a long cut? On the ground. Is it closer than this one I'm running to? Totally didn't cheat. Yeah, I haven't seen a ton of this stuff just because, I mean, it's primarily been, oh, look at you. Lasava and Bill in here getting the content in, so that's nice. Ollie, I'm vibrating. I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is authentic Elven technology. This is what happens when the gnomes don't build it. The lifts in the gnomish city, perfectly smooth, buttery smooth. I do feel like I came up in the wrong spot, though. Oh, shit. I was hoping I could pop through. Can I sneak? No! Okay. Whew. Yeah, I was gonna try to see if I could get right around it. I was so busy looking over there, I didn't realize I was running into the rope. I want to fly over to the showcase area. There it is. Oh. Blew it. Let's try to sneak in your window. Very close to getting in. Oh, with a shrink I could definitely get in. All right. Give it a minute. Give it a minute. Oh man, that it did not. I don't think it liked that I did that. Nice. Well, it's coming together. Top-notch atmosphere. All right, guys. Need some cattails or lily pads. Oh, lily pads that you could land on and stuff would be good. Let's do still. Much more seeing coming. Yeah, for sure. It is a heck of a project. But it's coming together. I'm excited for it. Get the lily pad set up. We've got like those weird like barrels and boxes and stuff that were set up in Crest in one of the secret places that you could like bump into then bounce up and down and stuff. Have new quests been added to Elf City yet? Yeah, there's a bunch in there. That's the stuff. If you look, there'll be like some random NPCs standing around, or there's some props and stuff like that. Lasava and Nicodemus have been adding newbie quests to the zone. So they just kind of have temporary homes and stuff now based on kind of an early understanding of the map. But as the city continues to come together, the more and more they'll be in the right places. But there's some good quest stuff. Yeah, the newbie quests are the class quests. Lasava said all but shaman so far. So that means there is bard, rogue, fighter, archer, druid, ranger. Is that it except for shaman? Oh, Beastmaster. That was the one I was forgetting. Cool. All right, guys. I need to wrap up because I still need to call my mom before bed and be a good son. And like I said, I won't be here on Thursday. I will be on the road, but I will be checking out what's going on with the playtest this weekend from my hotel room. Thanks, everybody, for being here. And I hope everybody has a good playtest. I hope everything goes well for the team. I hope all of you guys have a good playtest and a chance to have fun. And hopefully everybody you bring with you is impressed and they're going to play with you in the future and all that good stuff. So, but I'll check in with you next Tuesday and we'll see how it went. Yeah. Thanks, Quatos. Later, Viro. See ya, Coots. Thadvic. See ya. You too, Valen. Bye, Telsmere. Chili Sauce. Swanee. Oathrend. Later on, you're very welcome. It was my pleasure. See ya, Doggeroni. Longhila. Biro. Bilth. Darius. You're welcome, Wolverine Tooth. Later, Viper. Careless. Nerve-wrecked. Gunnerwolf. Talit. Bill. Eric. See ya, Fuller. Telsmere. Zeitgeist. Later, Yushu. Zare. Enduro. Zukin. Perez. Possum. Quixana. Confliction said, bye man, first stream. This was fun to watch. Hey, thanks for being here. Ciela Sava, Dragon, and Nomer. Alright. Well, I'm going to wrap up then. As soon as I can find the button. Alright.
Good night.
Jasmine says good night. Where's the pupper? Oh, he's coming down the stairs. He's coming full speed. Come on. There he goes. All right. Full family. And he's back out again. All right. That was it. Cool. Right then a black wolf pup goes by. Running. Up, buddy. There he is. There he is. All right. Let's push the button. All right, I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Maybe.